One of the most essential elements to having an ESLA classroom like the ones that we desire and want, the ones that flow the best, is an incredible playlist. So in order to have a great playlist, there's a few things that are essential. One, your classroom needs to be set up in such a way that students understand where to work, that the teacher or the guide in the room understands what students are working on, and that there are materials and resources in appropriate spaces so that when the student is there, they can work on it. The idea of a playlist is not brand new. In many early childhood classrooms, Montessori classrooms, you'll see a variety of activities that are laid out and students have choice about which ones they want to go to. So when you create a playlist in your classroom, in order to do it effectively, you've got to do several things really well. Number one, you can't just lay an activity out in a room and tell students to do it, because obviously a brand new activity that they've never seen before is going to require more modeling, more instruction, and more guidance. And if students are raising their hand all the time asking for help or questions, it's not the type of independent learning space that will allow the teacher to do what they do best, which is provide small group instruction or one-on-one instruction to students that need it during the day. Instead, a playlist activity has to be introduced slowly. The teacher has to model how to do this with the whole class. The focus at this point is not so much on content and skills, but on how to do that activity. So an example might be a daily diary activity. And in this case, you would show students where to find their notebook, where to find the prompts that they can write, how to start this activity, what the expectation for the length of their writing should be, and then what to do with the writing after they're done so that there is an accountability measure. If all those things are in place and students understand that, then suddenly there is now a space in the room, almost like a workout station, where students can go and practice their writing. And as long as they know how to engage with that space, then it allows the teacher throughout the year to change the content in that learning station. So you could change prompts to be about the theme of the unit that you're studying. You could connect to current events. You could create levels of prompts that would allow your students that are maybe more at a beginner level to read and write at that level, and then more advanced topics for the students that are ready for that. That's a great example of like a type of playlist activity that functions, but there's tons more. There's speaking topics, there's grammar activities, there's typing, there's tech skills, there's math activities. And all that matters is that that machine, that station, that space where the kids are going to go is a space that they understand how to engage with, right? You set it up, you label it, you give it a generic sounding name, you give it a generic set of instructions that allows the student to understand how to engage. You place repeatable styles of activities. You don't want to just grab a worksheet from this grammar book and another worksheet from this one week, find a website. Working on grammar is great, but if every single time the student has to receive new instructions and new guidance on how to do the activity, then they can't really focus on the actual content. So you make sure they're simple, they're repeatable, and most importantly, that the activities that are in every learning station are at the zone of proximal development at or below for every kid. That means that when they go over there working on that writing skill, that vocabulary skill, whatever it is, a research skill, that is something that they're capable of doing independently. If they're not capable of doing it independently, the very first thing that will happen is that they'll raise their hand and they'll say, "Teacher, I need help." And that's great. Except those types of activities should be reserved for the small group instruction and the whole class instruction, right? We start all of our days with a whole class instruction. So we can show kids how to do things in that way. And we hold daily small group instruction based on the instructional level of each student. So we can introduce high order concepts, challenging things, things that connect uniquely to each kid in those spaces, and the kid gets direct feedback. When kids are working on their project, if everyone else is engaged in their projects or engaged in their playlist, that allows the teacher time to go sit with each individual kid throughout the week and give direct feedback exactly where they need to get it. But in order for that to happen, everyone in the room has to have the opportunity to work out and practice and exercise the skills that they've learned. So that's the point of the playlist. Another thing that I want to say about the playlist is that it's not a list of assignments and it's not a list of activities that can be completed. The beautiful thing is the more opportunities or exercises that you place out, you never really have to take them away. I mean, you can mix and match just to keep things fresh, but a teacher can constantly be adding. It is not uncommon for there to be 15 or 20 different learning opportunities in a classroom for students. And our students are not expected to necessarily finish them. Like there might be a listening station, and in that station, while everyone understands what to do when they go over there, maybe they're listening to a prompt or a podcast, they're responding to questions there. The amount of content in that station could almost be infinite. You could place tens of hundreds of different leveled learning opportunities for the students. So think of it like a workout machine in the gym. The student can go there as many times as they want. They can focus on things and at the level that they need, and then that allows everyone else to also be making their own choices. And most importantly, it allows the teacher, while those students are engaged in relevant learning activities connected to the unit, connecting to their skill level, understanding how to work independently, that teacher then can flow around the room and do, I think, the most important aspect of teaching, that direct one-on-one feedback.